The Patriotic Reform Party have once again shown themselves to be pro-America as a councillor expressed his support for ICE following the murder of Alex Prentice in Minneapolis. And this is him tweeting, Joseph Bowen, the councillor, by the way, tweeting a picture of, "I stand with ICE." Now, after facing backlash, Councillor Bowen doubled down and he said, "For the people that don't support ICE, are you suggesting that the UK should not enforce its immigration law? When I said I support ICE's work, I mean that I support the enforcement of immigration law, which is the task of immigration control and enforcement, aka ICE. That is what I stand by." I mean, he stands by it so much that it seems like he's deleted his tweet. I tried finding the original one, and I only have a screenshot. The problem with ICE, right, the big thing is that they don't follow the law. So this guy is trying to say, I support ICE because we need to legally enforce our immigration law, but ICE breaks the law. I mean, wake up, bro. I mean, they're killing people on the street. That's not lawful. They are, I mean, people compared them to the Gestapo. Ben McLean says compared them to the SS, which is probably more apt, or the SA. They're constantly going into communities and terrorizing them and murdering people. I mean, it's insane. Once again, these reform people are cucks. My favorite word of the year, cucks. To America and power. It's so pathetic. Now, Councillor Bowen has had a track record for saying some pretty vile stuff. Last year, Hope Not Hate exposed some worrying social media posts shared by Mr. Bowen, as well as other figures in Reform UK. His now deleted X account, which used the name Lord Joseph Bowen, Christ, get a life, he regularly tweeted and retweeted Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed misogynist charged with rape, human trafficking, and forming an organised crime group to sexually exploit women. According to the charity, he also retweeted messages like "resist the slave mind" and tweeted "hello Mr. Tate" with an emoji of a goat, meaning greatest of all time. After Tate was removed from numerous social media platforms, Bowen retweeted another account saying, "Andrew Tate has been banned from Instagram and Facebook. Free speech is dead. The world is dead." Now, Reform and the right wing have often focused on irregular migrants. They call them illegal. The actual term is irregular migrants, as it's some kind of existential threat. But the numbers suggest otherwise. Government data shows that in the year ending March 2025, there were 44,125 detected irregular arrivals. Now, to put that into perspective, 44,125 is 0.0637% of the UK population of 69.3 million, right? Not 1%, excuse me, not 1%, not 0.1%, but 0.637%. Yet Joseph Bowen wants to support ICE, which is an organisation that is kidnapping, murdering, and terrorising local communities. Louisa, once again, we are seeing the British right act like bootlickers to US power, Reform included. Now, with the de-Yankification movement, do you think people are finally waking up to their fake patriotism?
I don't know how much longer they can sustain these contradictions within this party. They obviously, Nigel Farage is trying to distance himself from Donald Trump because everybody is quite aware how, sort of strange this situation is and how authoritarian it is going. But these people that saying they'll stand by ICE, like, ICE will not stand by you. These people are out there for themselves. This is pure will to power. And if we don't tackle that and we don't call that into question, then we have a huge problem. I think we really need to think about what Reform want to do and how they're thinking about ICE, because this is blatant authoritarianism. Like we can't allow this to happen, or the conversation even to continue. It needs to be shut down.
Yeah, and I think it's look, obviously for us, I don't consider anyone illegal. Oh my god, I'm woke, whatever. The majority of the country does see illegal immigration as a problem. I put the numbers out there, right? 0.6%. It's not an issue, but people do think that. But what I would say is majority of people will go, we should do something about illegal immigration, but we don't want secret police going around and gunning people. And Reform once again are extremely out of touch. And I personally think that that's something that is almost a step too far, where people go, hang on a second, we've just seen what ICE are doing. I mean, a lot of people in this country know how brutal the police are. I would say the majority of people don't want our police to be like Americans' police, right? We don't see American culture we don't think highly of American culture, I don't think. And Reform, who are trying to be the sort of patriotic, we love Britain, want to sort of copy America. I think that is pushing them out of step with a lot of people, and people might be thinking, do you know what, I don't know about this. I mean, we're looking at Reform polling. They're going down. Of course, Suella Braverman, sort of separate side note, Suella Braverman's just joined the Reform Party, and no, I didn't write about it tonight because I just thought it was irrelevant. It is irrelevant. It's just the Tory Party. Do you think Reform are starting to make mistakes? At the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, we're doing fantastic political campaigning, I think. Disagree with them. Fantastic political campaigning. Really capitalising over Labour's fallen support. This year, I don't know, they're making really, really strange decisions. Councillors supporting ICE, bringing on ex-Tory, not just MPs and backbench MPs and councillors, ex-Tory ministers, the same ministers in which Reform have attacked them, saying they've destroyed this country, and they're bringing them on.
Yeah.
So do you think the Reform are almost like running out of steam?
Well, yeah, I think, well, I'm hoping they peaked. They peaked last year and they've spoken to this powerlessness. But I think, I just don't think they can hold these contradictions for much longer. Like, you have that people are seeing what happens when you have authoritarian nationalism in the US, and they're thinking that is not what we want. And Nigel Farage himself has had to come out and say what Donald Trump is doing, not in terms of ICE, but in terms of invading other countries, isn't acceptable. So I think that's driving a wedge between people, because generally they are on the same side. Like, people understand that Reform are on the same side as Donald Trump's, MAGA, and it's the same project of return. It's the same project of of nostalgia and make America great again and take back our borders and take back control. Like, maybe that movement backwards isn't going to work, and maybe we are going towards dangerous territory. So I do think that fragmentation is starting to happen, and that's what we're starting to see. I definitely hope it is.